In previous project we have learned about the face detection counter application using Streamlit, and recently we have started the Python daily programming series. So in this series I will try to upload a Python daily programming video, but due to some reason I cannot maintain it for the daily, but obviously I will upload as soon as possible videos when I got some free time to upload the videos, because creating video daily, it is kind of the very difficult task to upload the daily programming videos, but still I will try. I have already uploaded 5 videos in this playlist, so share this playlist as soon as possible to others, so others can know the very simple form of the Python, very means they can learn a very basic Python programming from the scratch, right? Now let's talk about this video. So in this video we are going to learn about the IFSC finder, right? But before starting the video, just I want to tell you that subscribe our Machine Learning Hub channel. You will get lots of tutorials with code and explanation in free, right? So let's start. Now this project is based on the IFSC finder, or you can say checker, IFSC verifier. So first of all, what is bank IFSC? So it is a unique identity for each and every bank. So with this IFSC number, right, with this IFSC code, you can verify the bank. If you are going to transfer the money to someone, right, using NEFT or IMPS or RTGS, you need to have the IFSC code of the receiver, right? So before sending the money, you just need to verify the IFSC code. Now for the IFSC code verifier, there are lots of sites available on internet, like this one is I have taken from the Google. So these all are the site. You just need to enter your IFSC here, and it will give you the information like bank, branch, address. So this is the same site we have built with the Python, but still we have the very simple site, but the working is very similar, right? So let example, I'm going to use this IFSC, right? It is Ahmedabad Gota Road branch of the Axis Bank, right? So I'm pasting this IFSC code here, and now I'm searching for it. It will give you the information all the related to the branch, like bank name is Axis Bank, branch is Gota branch, address. For full address you just need to click here, and you can see address ground floor and whatever address. It is located in Gota Road, Chandlodia, right? City is Ahmedabad, state Gujarat, IFSC, and then contact number, then UPI, RTGS, and NEFT and IMPS. Means these 4 facilities are available in this branch, right? So we can verify the IFSC using our application. So now what will be means what the thing we are doing into backend. So basically we are doing simple one API request. So let's see how this application is working in backend. So before going into Streamlit, we just need to maintain the main Python file from which we can learn how we can fetch the information, right? So you just need to have this request library, like you just need to do pip install request, right? So this is the most useful library if you are doing web scraping or you are sending request for the API. Now this is the API, ifsc.razorpay.com. If you Razorpay is nowadays very famous and popular if you are merging any payment portal to your application or website, right? So we are using this API from ifsc.razorpay.com, and it is open API. So after that you just need to pass, after that URL you just need to pass the IFSC number here, right? So let's see how this API is working first. So you just need to have this URL, right, and you just need to pass this IFSC here. So this will be our requested URL, okay, and now you will get the data like this into one kind of a, you can say, JSON format, right? So this is the data we can go from here, right, with this URL. So we just need to do the same thing here, right, but we are doing it with programming, right? So what we are doing, URL, then URL of the API, which is ifsc.razorpay.com. now for the sample I'm just taking any random IFSC code of some bank. Now request.get. Now after the getting the request, we just need to have this data into JSON, and now I'm printing the info, bank info, which I got from this API. So I got the address of that bank, then Swift code is not available because Swift code is only available for the means in city only, it is available for only main branch. then contact information, then center, which is Dakshini Kannada, branch it is Karnataka Bank, RTGS true. Now it is returning true if the service is available, right? True, IMPS is also true, state Karnataka, city Mangalore, NEFT is also true, district, then UPI is also true, bank name is Karnataka, bank code IFSC. So this information we got from the our API. So now we got this data here. Now we just need to fetch the important data, right? So here some data which is not like important, right? So we are just fetching the main information which is related to the our main thing, like IFSC, city name, UPI, it is available or not, right? So how we can access all this data like this? So you can see, you can understand, this is the simple dictionary. So how we can fetch the dictionary value? So it is very basic concept. You just need to pass the value of the key. So here key what is the key? Address is the key. Then after that this Swift is the key. Then contact is the key. So if I want to fetch this contact value, then I just need to pass this key value here, right? So I just need to fetch the information by one, like bank name. So first of all, bank name. So for bank name, I just need to find the key of this, right? So just I can search here bank, right? So you can see already 5 bank is available. Here you can see bank is the key and it is a Karnataka bank. So I need to first of all get the this value first, because I need to get the bank name first, then branch name, right? So these all are the keys, and keys is very simple, like you can see bank, branch, address, city. So you just need to pass this dictionary and then pass here, you just need to pass the key. So it will print the value. So we are storing all this information like city, state, then we just need to print the IFSC number once again to show the user. After that we need to pass the contact information, right? Now the two thing is that in UPI, RTGS, NEFT and IMPS, these 4 things are mandatory, right? We need to fetch this information, but here the one thing is that it will return the true and false, like it is kind of the boolean. If the UPIs or IMPs is available, it is showing true. If it is not available, it is showing false, right? So if we are fetching this true and false data, just assume that instead of this UPI available, RTGS available, instead of this, if it is showing a UPI true, RTGS true, right? So if we are the IT and we are CS student, we are programmers, we can understand true and false. But if I am showing this site to some unknown person which is not familiar with the IT, then they will like, why there is a true and false written here? Even they did not get the mean of this true and false, right? So we should get use the simple word like available or it is not available. So we are just simply doing it with if and else. So what we are doing, first of all, UPI it will mandatory. Now we are using if and else in one line. Available, it should print the available if this is true, if UPI is equal to true, right? So here we have defined a condition. If bank info then UPI value is true, then it should print the available, right? Otherwise, if it is false, means else part, it is not available. This is the simple, and the same condition we are using for the all RTGS, NEFT, IMPS. If it is true, then it will show the available value instead of the true and false, right? And now we are printing all the information, right? So just let print. So Karnataka bank, bank name is Karnataka IMPS. This is the officially address of the bank, Mangalore. State is Karnataka. This is IFSC code. This is phone number, means contact number. Then UPI available, RTGS is also available, NEFT and IMPS is also available, right? Now we need to use this application, means this functionality into our main website, right? Now we have created the important thing which can be very useful for the normal user, right? But we cannot show this code, or we cannot show this code to your client or some person, right? So we need to build some application. Now we have 2 options. We can build the desktop application using Tkinter, PyQt or Kiwi, right? Or we have another option, go for the web application. Web application will be more convenient because all the users can use it, right? It can be accessible through any of the device, right? Now we can do it with the Flask, but obviously for this kind of the application I always suggest you to go with the Streamlit. So now let's go to the main application. Now import Streamlit SST from PIL, import image, then request for the getting the bank, means just for the making the API call, and pandas for the data frame. I will explain it later. Now we need to create a function bank data finder, right? In this function we need to just pass a one parameter IFSC code. This parameter means this argument will be sent by the user will enter the IFSC. This function will be fed the information. Now we are obviously it is API call, so we are just passing with it with the true and false, try and accept, right? URL, now we need to pass this URL plus IFSC code. We are making the request here, we are converting data into JSON, right? But now we are appending all this data into one list. I will explain the reason behind of it. I will explain it later, right? Now the code is same like what we have done in previous, right? But now the thing is different. What I am doing, I am appending all this data into my all details list. I have created one empty list and I am appending all this data into list, and after that I am returning only one list. The reason is that if I am not appending all this data into list, then I need to separate the, means I need to return all the values like bank name, branch address, but instead of that I am appending all this information into one list, and then you just need to fetch the, you just need to return this one list at the end. If any exception goes, it will print the exception. Now main function def run. Now into run image dot happen. So already there is a bank PNG. It means kind of the good looking purpose. You can see this is the logo of the bank. So I place this logo here. I am just resizing it into 156, 145, and then st dot image. I am placing this image here, right? Now st dot title bank IFSC finder, but it is not looking finder. It should be checker, right? Because we are not finding, we are just checking the IFSC. So bank IFSC checker, right? Let's check. Okay, right, and now it is working. Now we need to give the warning, right? st dot markdown warning, this data is coming from the third party website, so confirm it once, right? If you are defining, we are showing any data related to the payment information, you should give the one warning, right? You just need to warn the warn the user about it. If you are going to use it, this data is like, we are not generating this data, we are just fetching this data from one other site and we are giving to you. So right, so you can trust us, but it is not mean if anything goes wrong you can blame, because we already given the warning. So that's why we just need to pass the warning here, right? Now IFSC, we need to get this text box here, right, text box. Now st dot text input is inbuilt of the Streamlit. Now you just need to pass the one information, means how data means how the user can enter the data, right? Enter your bank IFSC code. We just need to pass the one example here, eg then KRB001. so this is one simple IFSC code, so it should look like this. Now what we need to do, we need to create one button, if st dot button, and button name is search. Now we just need to make the function call. We need to bank data, we need to create one variable. In this variable I am calling this main function of the our bank data finder, which is this, right? Now this function is returning the list, so obviously this bank data will be also one list. Now I need to pass the user passed IFSC. If user is entering any IFSC, so this IFSC value stored in this variable, and I am passing this variable variable value into function, right? Now if I got any data into list, then I am displaying this data. Otherwise I am just doing it st dot warning check your IFSC code. Just assume that I am entering any random name here, like my name, and I am just clicking on the search. So obviously it will not return any data because it is wrong, it will give you the error. And now check your IFSC code, the warning should be displayed like this, so that's why. But if any bank data return, means if it is returning any list, then what we need to do, now we need to pass the, let's give you the example once again. I have just taken the sum of the IFSC code. Now I need to display the bank name, branch, address. You can see this is the name, address, city, state, IFSC, contact, UPI, RTGS, NEFT. These all are the labels, right? So I need to pass these labels. So that's why I created the one list, index name. Index name is equal to bank name, branch, address, whatever. Now what we need to do, we just need to create a data frame of it, like df is equal to pd dot data frame. Now in data frame we are we are just giving this column name as a info, right? These all are the row, this one is the column, only we have the one column, right? So info, now with this info means in this column we are passing the data, and now this data is a list, so list will be more convenient to pass the data into data frame. So that's why we have created the list first here. So bank data is passed into this column. Now index, so index name if we are not going, then it will like 1 2 3 4 5, right? So instead of this we are giving our index name like bank name, branch, all this name, right? Now actually this is nothing meaning of it, so just I need to remove it. Now st dot data frame, so already in pandas array in Streamlit there is a one function st dot data frame. In we just need to pass this data frame which we have created into this data frame, right? So what it will do, it will create this user view, means it will create the view to pass the information, right? And now if anything goes wrong, as means if if IFSC code is wrong, it will give you the warning, right? So that's how our data is displayed here. So you can check it with the any IFSC, like here. So I have just taken the sum of the IFSC. Okay, this is Bank of Baroda, Saraspur Ahmedabad branch, and this all the contact information, UPI, RTGs, all the things are available. So we all are doing this it for the learning purpose, means how we can create a real time application which will be useful for the other user. So our aim is to just increase our knowledge level and learning of how you can create a real time useful application for all the user, right? So into next video, I have just recently uploaded one poll. So in next video I will just explain you how you can create the music player with a bot, means assistant. So it will be music player assistant, and even I am going to upload this site into Heroku deployment. So currently it is available in local, so I will create a separate video for it, and I will be deploying this site into Heroku so everyone can use it. So these two videos are coming into future, so just like, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe the Machine Learning Hub channel. So guys, see you in the next one. Until that, keep coding, be safe, and subscribe channel and share all the videos with your friends. So guys, thank you for the listening me. See you in the next one.